Good morning students. During my last video lectures, we have covered three important points. Shape and size of the Earth. Earth has a unique planet. Now, in this video lecture, we are covering the following points. What is biosphere? Source of energy in biosphere, primary producer or autotrophs, consumer or heterotrophs. Later we will divide consumer or heterotrophs into two parts, primary consumer and secondary consumer. Primary consumer is also called as herbivorous and secondary consumer is called as carnivorous. Students, at last we will cover food chain and ecosystem. We will sum up chapter 1 with ecosystem. Now students, let's begin the first point. What is biosphere? Our natural environment is made up of three realms: lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. These three realms cannot work in isolation. They have to work together. So it is a interaction and combination of all these three realms that biosphere came in existence. So the biosphere is a narrow zone in between all these three spheres. You can see there is a narrow zone in between all these three spheres, which is called as atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. There is a narrow zone where life is possible. Biosphere is a sphere where life is possible. But question comes, no any life can exist without the energy. Now, what is the source of energy? On our Earth surface, in biosphere, the main source of energy is sun. Sun is the continuous and you can say that ultimate source of energy. Sun radiates energy in all directions in the form of heat energy and light energy. Out of the total energy radiated by the sun, our earth receive only 2 billionth part of the total. Students, on an average our earth receive 2 gram calorie of energy per square centimeter per minute, which is equivalent to 500 million tons of coal. Students, next we will see the primary consumers, then after that secondary consumer. Before we discuss the primary consumer and secondary consumer, we will see the photosynthetic plants, which are called photosynthetic plants. Photosynthetic plants are the plants those who prepare their own food through the photosynthesis process. When they prepare their own food through the photosynthesis process, they produce their own food, and that's why they are called as autotrophs or they are called as primary producer. But there are certain animals which are depend on plants or animals. They are called as the consumers or heterotrophs. Later, these prime consumers can be divided into two parts: primary consumer, that is called as herbivorous, and secondary consumer, that is called as carnivorous. Students, the energy is flow in the biosphere in the form of food. So food chain is the main binding force which link the different organisms in the biosphere. So you can say that the food chain is a main means of energy flow in the biosphere. Students, this linkage is started from the primary producer. When the photosynthesis, through the photosynthesis process, the photosynthesized plants produce energy and that energy is transferred to the consumers. First of all to the herbivorous, then herbivorous is eaten up by the carnivorous, and upon the death of carnivorous, the decomposers makes their food. Students, further, this flow of energy is the basis of maintenance of life in the biosphere. Further, the biosphere can be divided into small units called as ecosystem. Now, what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is a functioning system comprising of the physical environment and the organisms in which food chains and energy flows produce typical pattern of life. Actually, ecosystem is a functioning unit in which the physical environment, then after that the organisms and the food and energies flows. This complete or entire system makes a pattern which is called as ecosystem. The savanna grassland and Sahara desert is a good example of large ecosystem. So students, up to here we have covered the biosphere, which is the last topic of chapter 1st of class 9. In next video we'll discuss about the latitude and longitude. Till then, stay safe, have a nice day.